I'm CT. When I'm not hosting podcasts, I live in the real world. I mean, everybody has to have a job, right? Mine just happens to be CS. Customer service. You know, solutions, relationships, keeping my team pumped up and motivated to keep a constant connection with every single guest who has chosen to come into our store. Episode number 97, Mega Billions, Bad Jokes, and Where's the Squirt? This is C.T.C.S.
Transition walk, day number 1 out of 1. Wow, the very second...
Wait. We interrupt this transition walk. Day 1 out of 1? Dude, where is your mind? Explain, please.
The very second that I started, you heard my dog bark, right, Jazzy? There was a deer behind this fence, and it leaped the entire fence. Holy crap. Wow. Where do I go from there? This is the transition walk, day number 1 of 3. God, I got a live performance this weekend. I love it. I love being on that stage. Been a very eventful morning, different interviews for the podcast. I was with Laura Love Harden, who was the ghostwriter for the Dalai Lama, as well as Desmond Tutu and others. To have a conversation with her, someone who has been so close to that realm of universal love. And then I had some time with Matt Fraser, who is a psychic. And to jump into his thoughts was just amazing. And now we're in the forest. Light rain, probably 71 degrees, a deer jumping over a fence. Yeah, that's some positive energy to take into CS. The week begins with lottery news, so it's like here's the latest in lottery news. You know, Hector, a couple of episodes ago, the guy that won $3,000 because the pick 3 was 777, and so first thing I see him today inside the store, and he walks up to me and he says, "Did you see the numbers on Monday?" And I said, "No, what happened?" And he goes, "Well, it was 777 again." I said, "That's awesome. Did you win?" "No, I didn't make my way to the store. I just felt like it'd be too early for it to hit again." Hector, if you're going to play the game, play the game. You can't complain, dude, because you didn't show up. In other news, it's well over $1 billion for the Mega Millions. So lots of people dreaming, lots of people wondering, wow, what if I really won? Let's put it this way. Do your homework. Mark from Shark Tank says, you got to do your homework or that $1 billion is going to become your worst nightmare. M.O.D. Gray is having a conversation with bagger Ryan, and Ryan is convinced that in the 1980s, the uniforms for this grocery store included a black tie. And so the conversation is going, and Gray looks at Ryan and says, "You weren't even born yet, dude. You weren't even old enough to know that. How do you know that?" And so they start talking about another M.O.D. from a different store who isn't old enough to know what they were wearing in the 1980s as well. But that's the mission, man. We got to figure out what was the attire for the employee of the store. We've hit that time in history where the incandescent light bulb is no more. It is as of August 1st. I mean, it's like you will not get an incandescent light bulb. And so the guests that are coming in that are looking for it are settling for the LEDs. And boy, are they ever getting a big sticker shock on that, man, because these things are not cheap, and they just sit there at the register going, but, no, sorry, man, I didn't write the law. You know me, I love a good challenge, and when something is challenged like this one was today, when it comes to what the uniforms were like back in the 1980s, so I had to go to somebody who's been with the store since 1977, and absolutely there were no black ties. Ryan was wrong, and basically all they had to do with the requirement was just to wear the store apron. Register number 2 is $10 over when we counted it to do the audit. And so we're going, oh my God, how could you be $10 over? What's going on here? And then we just get a phone call in. Right at the same exact time, someone says that the person on register number 3 didn't give her exact change back and that she's short $10. Now, we're as a group, and we're going, wait a second, how can number 2 have too much money and number 3... She says she was on number 3, and so we're looking into it right now, but everything seems to be pointing that she was actually on number 2, and that the person on the register says, okay, I heard him say that they wanted $60 back, I guess it was 70. That guy, he didn't give a shit about what I was going through. No. That I was trying to count out the change for his daughter, and then he starts coming up and giving me a bunch of numbers. It's like, that to me is creating confusion. So then at that point in time, I shut down. It's like, no, don't talk to me. When we finish this transaction, then I'll deal with you.
One thing at a time.
And so did you pick up on that?
Yes.
Yeah, because it was like, what are you doing, dude?
One thing at a time. Or we go by.
Here it is, our first What Would You Do? A situation where I present it to you, and I would love for you to think about if you were in the situation of customer service, what would you do? Someone calls up on the telephone. They tell us that they're a snag-a-jobber. They said that they were here from 3 o'clock this afternoon until 7 o'clock. And can I please write in their name and the hours they put in? What would you do? Would you just go ahead and do it because you're such a great person? I didn't. No, what I did was I sent the phone call to the manager in the bakery, and I let them handle it. We've got to have a taste test. I mean, come on. That's part of the fringe benefit of working at a grocery store. You got to be taste testing the food so you can talk about it when you're up there at the register. All right, so the popcorn this time around, because popcorn has become so huge anymore. This is from Live, Love, Pop, Truffle Salt, Gourmet Popcorn. Truffle salt. What does it smell like? Okay, it smells, it almost sounds like a fiddle faddle. So let's see what it tastes like. Oh, wow, that's nice. That's got kind of an interesting little, you can taste the salt and just a little bit of a kind of like a candied flavor with the popcorn. It's called Live, Love, Pop, Truffle Salt. Okay. This one has my, look at the bottom. Gluten-free. Automatic win right there. Transition walk, day number 2 out of 3 this week. Got that live performance tomorrow night. Geared up, ready to rock. It's a beautiful day in the forest today, man. It's like overcast skies, 76 degrees, a light breeze. I mean, for the month of August, this is gorgeous. A transition walk is, we all go through transitions. I don't care what your job is, whether you're in banking, you're in retail, or if you're just sitting around, just twirling your thumbs. We all go through mental transitions. So going for a transition walk allows me to kind of sort things out a bit, kind of defrag a bit. Because you know what? I'm in the solutions business, and you know what? If I can't give somebody the right answer or an answer that they can agree with, we get hit. Oh, we get hit. First thing that happens when I walk into the stores, I'm pulled to the side, and they go, CT, we need to talk. And I thought, okay, so what's going on with the serious talk? And they go, hey, you posted something up on Facebook that we need to talk about. I went, oh, God, what did I do? What did I do? And he goes, hey, I didn't realize you were a Barbie collector. You've already got the Margot Robbie Barbie. Yeah, I do, because it's going to be a money maker. And he says, well, why didn't they ever make a pregnant Barbie? And I thought, God, I never even thought about that. Because, they did have one in the movie. I said, I don't know why. And he goes, well, I do know why. And I said, why? He looks at me and he goes, because Ken came in a different box. Well, I just put my foot in my mouth right there, man. I knew I'd get cursed if I started talking about how nobody's coming in for lottery tickets. Don't make a comment like that until after the 5 o'clock hour passes. People are driving home. So here's the big thing today is that you can tell that there's a lot of unprofessional lottery players because they don't know what the hell they're buying. Hey, the one tonight, like the 1 point something billion dollars. I don't know what it is. Do you want a regular Mega Millions or do you want the multiplier? I don't even know what you're talking about, dude. And so I sit there and the guy goes, I want 5 different Mega Millions, but it's got to be separate. And that's what I'm going to do. And then right in the middle of printing out the 5, he goes, no, I changed my mind to Mega Plier. Well, you can't erase them. And so I tried to explain that to him and he goes, I don't want them. Well, you can't erase them. You told me you wanted the regular Mega Millions. Yeah, but I changed my mind. I want the Mega Plier. That was the most interesting story from one of our guests. He's not looking for seedless watermelons. He's looking for watermelons with seeds. And when I was a kid, we played with those seeds. We shot them at each other. We spit them at each other. And so when we went into this new age of watermelons where they're seedless, he's going, it's not natural, man. It's not natural. If you want a natural watermelon, it's got to have seeds. Otherwise, what kind of chemicals are you putting in that watermelon? Transition walk, day number 3 out of 3. I had to get my God on. Oh, every Sunday. Got to get my God on before I can go back into CS. Today the message was based on the God of already. It's not easy going into CS or any type of business, period, on a day where everybody else has it off, a Sunday. The world is having a good time while you're busting your ass. And so, you see those dark times. The God of already, he's already at the store. He's already preparing the day. He already knows what's going to take place and how I'm going to react. Oh boy, that's a lot of weight. C.T.C.S. My wife and I made an agreement this morning that we're going to take the day of the performance off, and then we will follow the day after with a day off as well. So taking 2 days off after a performance, because when you're on the stage, a live stage like we were on last night, and the party doesn't stop, and then you've got to get up and, go to work. It's very difficult to do that because the body is already dead. It hurts so badly. But so that's going to be the big thing, is that we'll take the day off for the live performance, and then we'll take the second day off to basically recuperate. This is how much of a professional expert I am not. I thought for sure that when the mega millions reached $1.5 billion, that people had already spent out. They say, man, I've wasted so much money on this, it ain't ever going to happen. They're coming in here and they're buying $100, $200, $300 worth of these things because the next one is worth $1.5 billion, and they are convinced it's going to be them, and it was well worth all the money they've spent. Man, this is one hell of a conundrum. So this guy comes in, he buys up all of our Squirt, and he says it's buy two, get two free. Well, he's bought all of them, and I can't find the open space where the Squirt would be. And it's like, you talk about looking for a fucking needle in a haystack here. I can't figure it out at all. When you're looking for something in a grocery store and you can't find it, you've got to think like you're basically snowblind. It reminds me of when we were up on Mount Rainier in Washington back in the year 2000, and we had a complete whiteout. We couldn't see anything. And so not being able to find the Squirt, I really felt like I was back in one of those moments. It's like, okay, where is it? It's like, how can my mind blank out where Squirt is? I can't see it. It's here. It's the soda row. But what's going on? You become snowblind. So I guess we'll coin the phrase grocery store blind. It's the typical mass exodus of employees at 6 o'clock. So we've got 2 people on the register Sunday night. People are coming back from their vacations and coming back just to get into town. And we are five deep in both registers. So, it seems like we just lost half the team at 6 o'clock, and the whole world came out. A gentleman comes up to me in CS customer service, and he says, my name is Lucky Mikey. Lucky Mikey. I said, okay, hi, Lucky Mikey. Why do they call you Lucky Mikey? So I'm about ready to show you. He pulls out this huge wad of scratch-offs, and he says, I got about $4,000 here that I'm going to turn in tonight. I said, Lucky Mikey, it's not your lucky night, because we can only do 500 at a time here, buddy. And but he wanted to make sure, and he was really, really showing me that he has $4,000 or even more, because we sat there. You can run it through the machine. You just don't hit print. And but yeah, and I go, how'd you win that money, and how long did it take you? Well, I just started about 6 weeks ago. I'm Lucky Mikey because I just felt like I'm going to start winning, and winning he is. I've always said that working at this store is in the core of the community, and you have the most unexpected conversations with people. And I just met Shanquella Robinson's father. Shanquella was murdered in Mexico. They don't know who the murderer was, but to talk with him and to listen to him, to really hear his story. And I looked at him, I said, God put this meeting together for us tonight. I said, we're talking tonight because we're going to work together. We're going to work together. Now, you can get more of the story on Court TV, and they're trying to get it back on page 1 of the newspaper because this is a mystery here in Charlotte. And but to hear him speak, to hear his love, his emptiness, but he knows that he's full because his faith in God is just so, so powerful. We can't end this week without doing a taste test. We've got a taste test today. This one is from the Craters. The Craters, GH Craters. And it's caramel ball popcorn is what it is. So, I'm a popcorn whore because I've been in the movie promotions business for so long. I know great popcorn. Smelling it, ooh, it's got kind of a Cracker Jack's kind of a scent to it. So let's go ahead and give this a shot. Anyway. And just as I did that, I just dumped all of them on the floor. I grabbed this 3. God dang it. This day was not supposed to end right. Well, the popcorn is good, but now it's on the floor. Now I got to go get the broom to sweep it up.